So, guys, we'll be live in next 5 minutes. So we'll wait for other audience to come and join. Till then, we should wait. We'll wait. Uh, the chat is on. Okay. Hey, can somebody just say hi who all are watching so that we can test whether it is live or not? Yeah, yeah, people are perfect. So we'll wait a few more minutes and then we'll start. Hi Atul. Hi Nilesh. Mm, we have got 15 people watching. So we'll wait 1 more minute and we start.
Good.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we have. Yeah. Guys who are listening, you can tweet or share in your communities to join so that we'll get more audience. I think like or you can go with your own way to reach more audience today. So we'll wait for a few more minutes until we have more audience.
No, that's
So, I think we should start.
yes.
Yeah. So, okay. Good evening and welcome to the first pre-hackathon talk of FOSS Hack 2020. FOSS Hack 2020 is organized by FOSS United. FOSS United is a not-for-profit organization uh, to help and support, FOSS projects coming out of India. Uh, we hope we connect with communities and FOSS contributors throughout the country and help them to build more projects. And today we have Liyas with us. He'll be sharing the story of Hopscotch, which is a beautiful API request builder. And during his talk, we'll have Q&A session, so you can ask us question in the YouTube chat, and he'll be happy to answer. And we'll have a discussion as well about FOSS in India with Liyas. So I won't take more time, and will ask Liyas to start the session. Hi, Liyas.
Thanks, Vishal. Thanks for the warm welcome. I really appreciate that. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Liyas Thomas. I'm a software engineer at Sensible and also the author of Hopscotch, which is an open source API testing tool. Today, I'm here to share my journey of Hopscotch, how I started the project, how far we have come, and some of our future plans for Hopscotch. But before that, I would like to thank you, the entire team behind FOSS United, for hosting such an amazing, excellent nationwide event and giving me this opportunity to talk on behalf of Hopscotch. Thank you guys for that. I would also like to thank everyone who is already present, who is live watching this. Even though we are going through a tough pandemic situation, thank you all for joining here. So yeah, so without further ado, let's get started. Uh, about me and my project Hopscotch. Well, name is Liyas Thomas. I'm 23 years old. I'm from Kerala. Right now, I'm a software engineer at Sensible. Previously, I was at Buy Me a Coffee, and regarding Hopscotch, I started Hopscotch an year ago, which is also started in 2019 August. And apart from Hopscotch, I do contribute and maintain a dozen of other open source projects as well. So that's pretty much a brief introduction about me and my project. You can find me on Twitter at handle Liyas Thomas, and also my projects most of them are in GitHub. You can find me on GitHub as well. The username is also Liyas Thomas, and the project Hopscotch is under the organization. Its handle is also Hopscotch. So so I'm hoping to tell how the project started, our progress so far, and some of our future plans, and also hoping to give a small demo of Hopscotch. And later that, we will move on to a QA session where you guys can shoot your questions, doubts, or if there is specific you will ask about open source or contributing or any other queries. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so the starting my project is 1 year ago this time, I joined in a company just after my graduation. It's a small startup near my locality, and the very first task I was assigned is to it's a API integration of a project, and that's exactly the first time I get to know about these API testing tools. And I did a background check on most of the tools. There were a handful of them, but uh, none of them seem to be very simple and effective. There was this culture between the user interface, or like, somehow most of the tools seems to be ineffective in case of a newbie like me an year ago. So at that night itself, I made this prototype. It was a simple web page, the very initial web page. I built in like 3 to 4 hours, and at that night itself, I hosted it on my GitHub pages. And yeah, I went to sleep. Yeah, that was the first day, and it was on August 21st, 2019. And next day when I woke up, I I, I woke up to this 100+ notifications from GitHub and my Twitter, saying that this project is really something that we want. A lot of developers started commenting on it, and yeah, I also started getting contributors from around the world. Later, I also wrote this blog on Dev.to platform, and I also got this immense support from there. So that's basically how it started. So I will recap how or the process of starting Hopscotch. So my need was to test my APIs. I'm a developer, so I have to test my APIs, and there were about uh, 15 APIs that I have to manually test. So the problem was, uh, even though there were a lot of tools like curl or postman, uh, somehow this seems to be very ineffective and very time consuming for me, because it was not simple to access those at that time. So that was the problem I faced, and I came up with a solution, which is a website in which you can test your APIs directly from your browser window. So as simple as that, that was the solution that I came up with. And that solution is after this 1 year, it's a product called Hopscotch. It's currently used by around 365,000 users from around the world. We have like 12+ contributors, in which most of them, they do have another job, but all are very open source enthusiastic contributors. They really help me keep up with the development, maintaining, and a lot of other stuff as well. So briefly, that was how the project started. Let's move on to the next part. So during this 1 year of period, what we have achieved is, it's more like a realization that how an open source project from India can be like a, much more like an alternative tool for a better API testing platform. So as I mentioned earlier, we have crossed 365,000 users in 1 year, and most of them are recurring users. We have around 100K plus recurring monthly users. And in terms of features, the initial prototype had only API testing for RESTful APIs, but we currently operate on GraphQL, WebSocket, Socket.io endpoints, servers and events, and MQTT brokers as well. So, and also we do support API documentation as well. So in terms of features, we have gone a lot of things. We have covered most of the essential parts of an API testing platform, and some features are currently in work in progress, but we will hopefully launch them in couple of weeks ahead. And in terms of community, this is something most of other projects forget, that you know building or maintaining an open source project is much more like how advanced the tech stack is. It's something that relates to our community, how much we are giving back to the community, how welcoming the contributions are, how effectively you can maintain the project, how the developers and users are in sync. So this is something personally me and my whole development team have high priority on. So regarding community, we have a Telegram group which is very active. We share the issues, bugs, feature requests, uh, personal doubts, how to handle some of the edge cases. Uh, Basically anybody can personally ask me or any of my development team members if there was any doubt regarding any features. So one is our Telegram community. It's a group, it's a public group, which is very active. Then we have a Discord group, which is also very active. And Discord group is mainly for those who are, those who are from around the world. We have users from Canada, US, most of the European countries. We have a lot of users from China, India as well. So most of our community are settled in Telegram as well as in Discord app. And apart from that, we also continuously maintain this GitHub community using issues or feature requests, bug reports, and all that. So community is one of the strongest point over Hopscotch. I believe Hopscotch has made a milestone so far. And the last one is regarding the revenue. So basically, Hopscotch has three kinds of revenue. One is purely based on donations. So donations vary from month to month. They might increase, they might decrease, but that shows the support from the community, and that's something that we really appreciate on. So that's the one source, and we do have two other sources. One is self-hosting push Hopscotch instances in their own servers or their company's URLs. It's mainly intended for mid-level startups or like a small group of developers, but they can self-host Hopscotch instance for their own use. They can customize which features need to be included, which needs to be omitted as well. That's a second source of income. And apart from that, there's this third source of income, which is in a beta stage. We have internally rolled out to some of the users, in which some features are bundled to a pro version, and they pay a very small monthly subscription amount for that. So yeah, these three are the sources of income we have. Yeah, shall we move on to the next part? Okay, so regarding Hopscotch, me along with my teammates have a lot of exciting plans ahead, in which the the prior focus goes to our subscription model. It's basically sticking a business model onto our open source project, and somehow help the development team to continue maintaining the project. So yeah, the prior focus is to deliver excellent features and also support the development in a long run. So regarding that, regarding features, we do have a lot of features that is work in progress, which is hopefully will be launched in a couple of days or weeks, in which team collaboration is one of the most requested feature, and we are really working on it, and hopefully will be available soon. So the next part is scaling our project. Even though I started this project single-handedly by myself, right now we have around 10 plus active developers from around the world. they contribute on like daily basis and trying to keep up the stack to the latest versions and all. So yeah, regarding scaling, we hope to reach around twice the time of users in 1 year. And regarding revenue, we also hope to uh, hope to achieve the amount which we hope in future, hire a full-time developer for Hopscotch and continue the development. So that's how we are going to scale our project. And also, as I mentioned earlier, sticking a business model onto Hopscotch is also it's also one of the prime focus. Apart from all these three, we do have a lot of small plans that we really hoping to execute in upcoming weeks, upcoming months. And keep an eye out for Hopscotch on our GitHub project, or personally in my Twitter handle. I will be rolling out those features in upcoming weeks. That's pretty much about the future of Hopscotch. So yeah, I have planned to produce a demo of Hopscotch, what Hopscotch is, how it works, how simple it is to make an API request and get to know basically what an API is, how to test an API, how the responses will be. So let's, I would like to have a quick demo of how Hopscotch works. So basically, you can just Google Hopscotch. It's basically Hopscotch with double P's. So it's pretty much easy. So the URL is hopscotch.io, and this is the home screen. Here, the first step is to choose which API or like request method we have to send. So in default, we have GET request, and a lot of other request types are supported. For this demo purpose, let's get on with GET request. So I choose GET request, which is the default one, and then it's pretty much easy. There's this URL in which the API is hosted. So we have to put in the API endpoint in this URL input, and that's it. So basically, you only need two inputs. One is select the request type and type in your endpoint, API endpoint. So in default, we have a placeholder endpoints and a request. So let's try sending the request. So basically, what just happened is we have requested an API endpoint with a particular request type, and the response is here within 1 second. We really focus on delivering responses as fast as we can, and we never compromise on the speed or the easiness of making the request. So, if you have a like 3G connection internet in India, it's quite obvious, and the response time is pretty much very fast. So that would eventually save a lot of development time to generate the request. So basically, I gave an endpoint, chose the API method, I just got the result, and it basically lists all of those results in your endpoint. And there are a lot of other features, such as you can view the result in raw format or like prettified JSON format. You can check those headers that comes along with those endpoint, or basically you can download your endpoint request response, copy to that clipboard. And also we offer a lot of other functionalities, such as we can basically add a parameter like that, and it will be it will be in the result because we are using this placeholder endpoint. And along with parameters, we have authentication facilities. We support 3 kinds of authentication. We have custom headers. We also support prerequest, which works as a, we can set environment variables as well. And also we support testing our endpoints in a real time. We can write some test cases and run those after sending the request, evaluate the result. And yeah, from the screen, we have this history tab. It records every successful or failed request. We have these collections in which you can store endpoints or requests or environment variables, whatever you want, and share them with your team. It could be exported to a file. And also we have this environments tab in which you can mention environments for your testing endpoints. You can change that. You can switch back and forth between endpoints. Then we have a silly tool for not, I do have to take some task and all, so you can really use that. We also support authentication with GitHub and Google. So basically you can sign in with either of them, and you can sync your history and all other functionalities from anywhere, from any device, whether it's your PC, home office, or your smartphone. It just works. And also you can install it as a desktop app, so it will be, it will give you a native kind of experience, which is super cool and really helpful, And we have an extension. It's a browser extension that allows you to, make requests from localhost endpoints. And that's really all about the REST API endpoints. Then we have a real-time page in which there are WebSocket features. We can test servers and events endpoints. There is socket.io endpoint support, and we can also, check MQTT progress as well. So that's pretty much how you can test real-time endpoints. Then we have GraphQL page in which you can test GraphQL endpoints, and basically, it's pretty much common nowadays. Everybody uses GraphQL, so this feature is something that we have introduced after the initial prototype, and it's one of the most requested as well as most helpful use feature in Hopscotch. And we have a documentation thing in which you can generate a documentation for your collections. It works. You can try it in your browser software. And we have settings page in which you can have some color theming customizations. We have a light mode. That's some funny features that would be added. And we also support this proxy mode in which in some endpoints will be only exist from a particular proxy or a endpoint. So you can use that here, enable that, and it will fix those course issues you might have with some endpoints. So that's one of the best features that we offer. So let me know how you feel about this demo. How you are able to test your endpoints, or was there any difficulties with that, or if there is any suggestions or parts we can improve. Let me know in comments or my Twitter handle, whatever, you can find me. So yeah, that's pretty much about the demo part I have planned. Let's move on to the slide presentation. Okay, so I hope you have seen the demo, how easy it is to share or test APIs in real time, whether it's from your PC, laptop, or even from your smartphone. So this project is something that I personally love, apart from all my other side projects. For the past 5 years, I've been into development, and every day I will have this at least two side projects along with me. Uh, just to learn how development works, how I can learn my help my growth. So Hopscotch is something that I'm really proud of along with my team. Our team is 100% remote. We are all distributed. Some of are working in a full-time job. Some of us are, they are students. So yeah, we are a small team, very distributed, very uh, having a lot of ambitious plans for Hopscotch. And let me know if there is any part we can improve, any future requests, any issues, or if there is anything I can do for myself. So let's just ping me, let me know in any social sites, GitHub issues, Twitter, whatever. I'm just hoping for the good. So yeah, I think I'm ready for any questions that I would like to answer. Vishal, can you help me here?
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me now? Liyas.
Yeah, I can.
Oh, perfect. So lots of questions and lots of good comments, about UI, and I mean, and I also, 100K, active users per month. That's something very, seems promising. And few more things, I mean, there are lots of features, and all are actually beautiful. And the API result, that was very quick, 1 second, right?
Yeah,
So that was amazing. So, I mean, and we have got, lots of questions. So I'll start one by one. So here is a question by Dhruv. So what is the core concept behind the testing APIs? I mean, what do we learn? What do we have to learn before in order to work on a project like Hopscotch? So, what is the
yeah,
core concept behind? Yeah.
I got it. So, I think I would like to, see this question in two parts. One is uh, purely based on how to contribute to Hopscotch project, or how we can contribute to an open source project. And Hopscotch being an open source project, somewhat there is this relationship between personally taking Hopscotch or like generally taking how to contribute to an open source project. So in case of Hopscotch, our front end is constructed in Vue.js, and we are using this framework called Next.js, which is a ported Vue.js framework. So
Okay.
in case of Hopscotch, the front end is in Next Vue. So anybody who has this basic JavaScript knowledge can easily get into know about Vue, because it's pretty much really easy. And there is this fun fact that Hopscotch is my first Vue.js project. So
Okay.
this may sound crazy because
Amazing. Yeah.
I haven't worked in a Vue.js project before, and I personally wanted to learn Vue.js and Next.js, how server rendered frameworks work. So at that I had this dilemma to start with. At 2019, while starting this project, I was wondering which framework should I use. So there was this Vue.js projects which were really becoming popular just because of its easiness and simplicity. So I had this kind of like a beginner experience in JavaScript too. So I I just I just chose Vue.js just because I have to learn that. I thought it would be helpful. So just like anybody who is very enthusiastic to know about Vue.js or like JavaScript in general, I suggest take a look at Vue.js documentation. It's very simple. It's very knowledgeable. It's pretty much very easy to catch up all the concepts in like 1 or 2 days, and you can really go deep into the docs, or like just start a side project with Vue.js, so you can really get to know about
Yeah,
Vue. So
yeah. I
so the
think
front
I
end part is in Vue, and we have kind of like a backend part which is in Firebase. So these two are the things that we have to be uh, at least somewhat experienced to contribute to Hopscotch.
Yeah, great. I think Dhruv has got his answer. So if you are still unclear, you can post in the comment section,
Yeah.
Dhruv. So next question is by Suraj Patil. So is it true that open source software tends to be of low quality because it's done by hobbyists for free, not by professionals? So what do you think?
Okay. You know, there are people who say that, and in terms of quality, what I personally experience is that I'm a true believer that two hands are better than one, two heads are better than one, and if there are like uh, 5 contributors, the project is 5 times better than having a one contributor. And if the project is maintained by 16 or like say 100 of developers, it is 100 times better than how it is contributed by a single person. So just like any other of my project, every open source project of mine have at least 2 or 3 other contributors other than mine. So the one thing is I have learned from is that there is no deficiency in quality when there are uh, more than 2 or 3 contributors, because it's also a way of learning how advanced, how effective open source can be. And I don't think there will be a deficiency in quality if it is a open source project, but I do believe that quality will be somehow increased if the contributors are somehow uh, committed to the project. So
Yeah,
that's
and
my opinion.
Hopscotch has proved your statement. I mean, the UI is great. I mean, everybody is appreciating in the comment section. So I
Thanks.
think even if the product is being, I mean, built by a hobbyist, it can be awesome. It will look awesome. And yeah, we'll go to next question by Subin. Subin, explain why JavaScript tops open source development, easier to contribute. I mean, why? I mean,
Yeah, I got the point. Well, if you have checked those some surveys and all in past 5 years, what we can notice is that the development in terms of web or say internet is huge, apart from some other classic projects or languages such as Java. So what I believe is that the platform JavaScript works is mainly on internet, and internet is growing like crazy. So there will be this huge opportunity for every developers, every newbies, if they knew at least a part of JavaScript, because it's what runs the internet, and there is this scope, there is this space for everyone who has this little or very knowledge of JavaScript. So the reason why I think JavaScript dominate the open source projects is while comparing the tech with other platforms, I believe internet or like web apps are really picking up the pace and dominating. That's why, yeah.
and one more question actually by Subin. Um,
Mm.
I'll okay. Adding to that, why do they need a self-host?
Okay. As I have said, in case of Hopscotch, uh, as of now, uh, currently users can access Hopscotch from everywhere, and we operates on a single database system which is hosted by Firebase. So if there was this requirement by a team or like a team of developers, and they really want to pick some features. We delivers a bunch full of features, and if they want someone to add a particular feature into it, or like omit some features, or like uh, ties those endpoints for a particular number of URLs. It's possible to self-host a Hopscotch instance in their server or their AWS, whatever they want. It's a additional feature that we offer, but since the source code is open sourced, anybody can do that. Uh, it's a additional feature you can
Okay.
use.
Okay. I think Suvin has got his answer. If you still need some query, have some doubts, you can again post a question in the comment section. So yeah, UI looks cool. What is it built on? I think Vue.js, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nilesh, can one write test cases for API on Hopscotch?
Yes, you can write test cases. It's a public feature. It's still in a beta features, but it's already published. You can
Okay.
choose the test tab, and right there is a wiki page in which you can find more details on it.
Okay. So I think Nilesh, you can check out this particular wiki page, right?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
this wiki page.
Okay. How was the experience on Hacker News, and how did it help you?
Okay.
Hacker News.
Okay. This is something I think all the open source enthusiasts should be have a little idea about, because there are some communities where we developers are like tech enthusiasts hang out, and Hacker News or it's one of the best platform where you can showcase your projects, talents, or like get feedback on your works. So I I did some blogs post in dev.to as well as in Hacker News, intentionally to promote my project. And the feedback I received was immense. There were there were a lot of supporters. There were a lot of well wishers. I got immense feature requests. Uh, they pointed out where I should improve, which part should be the focused on. What I can says that everyone should at least write a post on Hacker News, because it will, it's a quality community. You will get a dozen
Yeah.
of points from that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hacker News, the community, right? That helped you. So one question from Kailash. So why did you change the name from Post Woman to Hopscotch? Like renaming a big project, is challenging. You understand? So I mean,
Yeah.
was the transition smooth, or like what? I mean, the phases you actually see. I mean,
Got it. So on August 21st, 2019, I started this project, and I named it Post Woman, just because of I thought it would be fun, it would be cool, it would be much easier to remember, just because there was this existing
yeah,
tool called Postman.
Post Woman, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's something that I did intentionally when I was developing the prototype. But after 1 year, when I look back, I don't think, or I don't believe that the resemblance in name is the reason why I got this traction or the project went off. So we really wanted to, you know, in our developer group, we internally have this daily talk on, should we change our project's name? Should we go for another brand name? What should be done to, uh, avoid this confusion between those two brands? So there are three aspects for that. The reason why we changed the name. One is, we really wanted to avoid all those legal trademark violations if it ever happen in our future. And that's the prime focus. We don't want to, it should be halted the project. So first of all, to avoid any legal issues with postman or the trademark things. And second thing was, you know, uh, as he has said, changing the name or brand assets is it's one of the toughest or like challenging things. So
Yeah.
we have already took the decision to change the name. So we really wanted to move the project to an organization. So that was just happened in 2 or 3 weeks ago. First of all, the project was in my profile. We changed to an organization. So that was the second reason. And third reason is one thing that we have in our future, that is, rather than being an alternative to Postman or any other API testing platforms, we really hope and believe to, become the best API testing platforms in the web platform. So that's the prime concern for us for changing the name. Yeah, I hope you
Okay.
get it.
Yeah, if Kailash still has some question, he can post. And we'll go to next question. Okay, Nilesh also mentioned today on the Twitter thread about the competition. Like, okay, what do you think about the competition? Some other projects, right? There are some projects, right? Like Fire Camp, yeah, I mean Insomnia, right?
Okay. So basically, I am, familiar with some open source alternatives, such as Insomnia. Its founders and me have a internal connection. We talk. They are my friends actually. So I don't see it as a competition here because when thinking from the perspective of a user, of an end user, what the user want is, they have to get the job done. Just in my case, 1 year before, I have to, somehow I have to test my APIs. There is this option to go with Postman, but I have failed in that. There's this option to go with Insomnia. I couldn't run that too. So that's the reason why I made Hopscotch. So I believe there will be other users who are in my shoes, and yeah, that users just want the best thing, and we believe, our
So
team believes,
yeah,
our
so you believe that Hopscotch has something to deliver. So
yeah,
okay,
that's pretty much.
yeah, so people will obviously stick with you. Yeah, that's great. So okay, we have one more question from Arumal. How to make people know about your FOSS project? Yeah. How like you mentioned this in your blog, right? I mean, how the next day you wake up and you saw lots of messages on GitHub. I mean notification on GitHub and messages. So how to make your project popular or yeah, I mean
Got it. So okay, this is something that I have personally went through, so I can give what exactly works and what does not. What I call this, is called growth loop. It's more like a loop thing. One thing is consistency. You have to be consistent in your project. You can't expect a project that has been updated in a 6 months to be popular or like used by many others. So one thing is, be consistent with your project, even though it's a small project, solves a small solution problem. Be consistent. Always keep the stack updated so others can contribute to. If your dependencies are outdated, nobody will be contributing to your project, and there will be other lot of issues as well. So be consistent in terms of development, maintaining, and communicating with the users. So one is being consistent, and the second part is, there is this saying, build and users will come, which I don't believe. You have to be somehow promoting your project, and if you don't do that, there is this 95% chance your project won't be seen by any others. So I did promote my project on social networking sites, even though I have like 200 followers who are my colleagues or my friends. I did that. I intentionally did that in Twitter, in Reddit groups where usually developers will hang out, and in my blog post I started a few years back. when I started writing blog, I have like 100 followers, but now I have 10,000 followers. So I believe consistency is the part, and intentionally promoting your project in social sites or where developers hang out who do works. So that's the
Yeah,
two things you need.
yeah, reaching out to people, right?
Yeah.
And continuous effort. Yeah. So I think Aruman has got his answer. And Akshay, so what was the name post woman? Yeah, why was the name post woman initially? Why did you change it to later? I think it was the same question Kailash asked. So I failed to understand the self-hosting model. Do businesses pay you a free soft like self-hosting hopscotch? Like, is it like I mean I'll repeat it. Like Rohan failed to understand the self-hosting model. So do businesses pay you a fee? Okay, like do you have to pay fee for the self-hosting? I mean,
Okay. Uh, Already we have done around less than 100 self-hosted versions, and they had to pay a fixed amount. It's a one-time payment, and it's an additional feature. If it's only if there is this requirement, you should do that. And since the source code is freely available, you can either go with that, or you can make a customized hopscotch version and host it for you.
okay,
That's,
okay. I think he has got his answer. Okay. The okay, that's a good comment. The product design alone puts Postman to shame. Yeah. Um, okay. How was experience? Yeah, I think okay for GraphQL, does it do discovery and introspection?
yeah, it does. You can check out the page and send a endpoint, and you can view the docs as well as you can pick out the endpoint parameters. There are a lot of features in it. Do check that out.
Okay, English. So Aromal has again asked one question. I have contributing to open source for a while, but my contributions are limited to typofix documentation. It's good to start, Aromal. Like, how can I find projects where I can contribute actual code?
Got it. So, uh, for every open source industry, the go-to option is Hacktoberfest. There's this Oktoberfest happening in our hosted by DigitalOcean, and it's a great initiative. A lot of developers contributing to a lot of open source projects. Just sign into Hacktoberfest and do contribute to at least one project as a start. And there are a lot of other ways, other websites such as uh, Good First Issue, a lot of other sites where you can, find a particular issue or like a pull request or like a feature request, which is in it's the pool of feature requests that could be found in GitHub or like other platforms such as GitLab. Just go and search for a particular topic, whether it's JavaScript, Java, or C++, or like education. Just find a particular topic, find some interesting projects. You can use the explore tab, or like you can basically use the search field, and check whether is there any issues that you can help, or if you check out the project, and if there is a part you believe it should be improved, you can contribute to that. So these are some ways you can basically start contributing to a project.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. So yeah, Rushav has one question. How do you accept donations? So like, are you a legal entity based out in India? Like,
Okay, so regarding donations, we have a Patreon account, we have a Open Collective account, and there is this new initiative by GitHub sponsors. It's an official sponsorship inside uh, GitHub as well. So I Hopscotch uses all three of them. One is Patreon, another is Open Collective, and the third is GitHub. So yeah, these are the platforms that we use for accepting
Yeah.
donations. And also I have a PayPal account.
Okay. So actually, you have mentioned all like in this one blog, right? The Patreon account, and I'll share that. I mean, if we have like some donations, I mean, if there is something, so
Yeah,
I mean that will be helpful.
I
And
appreciate that. Yeah.
yeah, so like if some listeners has some idea to donate, I'll share that blog. So we'll go to next question. Haitian. How do you deal with scaling and stuff when it comes to open source projects?
Okay. So uh, in my case, I always go with ship and build next. You know what I mean. First of all, you have to start with say one user. So I build this tool, I build the prototype. It is essentially for myself. Then 10 people started recognizing it. They said it's a nice tool, so 10 people started using it. Then it grew to 100,000, 10,000, hundreds of thousands. So it's a gradual process in which
Yeah,
there will be some adjustments that you have to make, whether in terms of databases or it's a gradual process that you have to scaling is a gradual process you have to make along the way. And in case of Hopscotch, we started with a free account in GitHub pages. Later, we moved to a URL. We brought the URL domain. And in terms of backend services, we still uses Firebase basic plan, which is a free plan called Blaze. So it's pretty much running on the free plan, even though we deliver to 365,000 users.
okay. So one question, like the donation you said, so like you're accepting on your account, like personally, or is it like your organization is like legally, accepting?
Okay, so yeah, from all three platforms, that is GitHub, Open Collective, and Patreon, I accept the donation to my account, and it's all taxed, so there is no issue with that. If even though you are having this organization account, GitHub allows you to pay out to your personal account, so that won't be a problem. At least unless the donation amount crosses a particular limit, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So you don't accept, I mean, through the organization, like I mean, directly to the organization account, organizational account actually,
No,
like.
it's not an organization account, it's a personal account of mine. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I think we have got the answer. So I'll move if there is some questions. Uh, so the response time and visual cases cues, okay, are nice. I used to use Insomnia for many, okay, for manually inspecting REST APIs. Now I see this and this supports writing test cases. Thank you. Okay, so that's appreciation actually. I mean that's positive feedback for your product. So I think this is pretty much of the questions that was, and I think most of them are covered. I mean, all of them are covered actually. Um, okay, cool. Yeah, I think all the questions are done. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, okay, it was nice talking to you, Liyas. So if still someone have any queries to ask, so they can reach out to Liyas. Like we have already, like you can check our, tweet, and you can definitely find him as well, or you can just type Liyas Thomas. Uh, so a few more questions are coming on the donations part. So are you completely supported like with donations, or you still have your day job? Like,
Well, I have a day job. I'm a software engineer at Sensible, which is based in Bangalore. And I find time, I see this question by Ajit PG
yeah, yeah, yeah,
regarding, yeah. So, okay, so I have a day job. I'm a software engineer. And,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I think
I follow this 80 by 20 principles in which you can find a lot of time after your day job. There is this evening.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So that's hobbyist, yeah. So if you can actually, eventually build something if you are really passionate about something, I think
yeah, that
you
will
will
be good.
find time for that, right? If you have. So that was all of the questions actually, and still there, I already mentioned that. So if you still have any questions, you can reach out to Liyas directly on Twitter or, and he also a participant of FOSS Hack, by the way. So like we hope you build something. I mean, again some new awesome products with. I mean, you can start from. I mean, I saw the project, so you are starting from a new, right? I mean, scratch.
Yeah,
So hopefully, we'll get some, great contributions for this hackathon from your side, and yeah, that was pretty much. So I think we have yeah, cool. So okay, thank you, Lias. Thank you for joining, and we hope good luck for the FOSS hack. And tomorrow again we have one session with Jaskirat. So at the same time, 5 p.m. So again, like I'll ask all the listeners, audience to join again tomorrow at 5 p.m. on same channel, on our YouTube channel, FOSS United. So yeah, thank you for joining us, and bye bye. Take care.